single thing you do. I know that I can always be myself around you more than anybody else. And every day as a man after school, you know there's no one I love as much as you. Family.
What's up, Damis Squad? As you all know, I'm Ninz.
I'm Bino.
And by the title of this video, this is the video you've all been waiting for, the How Did We Meet video. But before we start with the story, we would like to give a couple of shout outs to a couple of our subscribers who's been requesting shout outs. So I want to give a shout out to Elijah, Ejizzle, and I want to give a shout out to Monty. We see you. We see RJ, Zay. Who else you want to give a shout out to? Faith. Shout out to Patricia. You've been going hard in the comment section. You make me laugh every time I read your comments. We just love and appreciate everyone who's been liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you so much. For those of you who haven't done so already, hit the red button below. Make sure to subscribe before the end of this video. And I guess we're ready to go ahead and tell the dun dun dun. How did we meet?
How did we meet?
So
you want to start it off, and if you're going left, on
all right.
So
it's hard to find a good man or a woman. It's even harder to find true love, but you guys found both. It's not a coincidence that you meet the same person twice on the same day. This is all God's plan from the beginning.
Bino and I met June 2008. Well, we met previously before on different occasions, but we just never noticed each other. So, for example, I have an uncle that passed years ago, and Bino was at the funeral because he used to hang with my uncles, and I just never noticed him, and he never noticed me. So we were just always in the same place, but I guess it was the wrong timing because we just didn't notice each other. And then we met again. The time where we actually noticed each other was Bino came to take pictures with his son for Father's Day, and he kept staring at me. He was staring at me at work.
You get that?
And it was all.
I like what I saw. Which one would you expect me to do?
And all my friends was at the job with me, and I was like, "Dang, baby daddy's staring real hard." And I was like, "Ooh, I like baby daddy like that," but I was just joking with my friends. So then Bino had to leave so that he could he had to go somewhere. So he was like, "Here's my number just in case the photos are done," because we were about to close. So he was like, "Here's my number just in case the photos are done, and I'll come back and call me if you guys are gonna close so you can come pick up the pictures." So I had this whole game plan in my head, and I was like, I'm gonna ask him "Oh, so what else do you want me to do with this number?" And then he came back, but he came back with his brother.
So you want to know? So you was digging the kid?
I was being funny, back then I was the finesse kid.
Yeah.
So I was just making jokes about it, and I was like, "Oh, so." But when he finally came back, I didn't say it because he came with his brother, and I thought his brother was a lot older than what he actually was. So I didn't say anything. And then we met again later on that night.
Yeah.
So he came back, picked up the pictures, and left, and that was the end of it. So I never thought I would see him again. It was just like a whatever, regular customer, goodbye, thank you for coming in today, here's your pictures type of story. And then what happened then?
What happened? So I also happened to have to go make a quick run at a Walmart later on that night, late night. So I guess I had on the same outfit.
Yeah, the same outfit.
When I went to take the pictures, it was for Father's Day with my son. So, and here I go, walking inside Walmart, and I hear some ladies just pissing at me or whatever, saying baby daddies. I'm like, what the hell? So I look back, and I saw it was her little friends or whatever just pissing at me. So I just threw the hand up, hey, what's up, So I just continued. I went on about my business. So yeah, I'm on my business, going inside Walmart. I think I was buying, what was I buying, milk? No, I think I was buying gallons of water. Was it gallons of water? I don't remember exactly what I bought. So long ago. I think it was water. I think it was baby water I was buying. So while I was buying baby water, so I'm getting ready to walk up to the register, like down where the register is. So I go ahead and check out so I can leave. And I'm walking out, I hear like I hear somebody pissing at me. So I ignored it. So they pissing it, and I guess the girl should like, oh, you girls pissing at you. So I turn around and I look, it was them. I was like, man, I didn't know y'all pissing at. Shit, I didn't know how I'm supposed to know y'all pissing at me. So you know what I mean? So we started talking.
Let me tell the realistic
Nah.
version.
Let me tell you.
I was just gonna let you just keep dragging this out, but that's not how it happened.
That is how it happened.
Okay, that's
y'all
his.
Saw me.
That's his view of what happened.
Come on, man. Y'all can't looking for me inside Walmart, man.
He went to Walmart for his reasons. I went to Walmart because me and my friends were going to like a party on South Beach, like in one of those mansion houses for one of my best friend's sisters. One of my cousins needed tights, so we went to like the Walmart, like the Walmart, the 24-hour Walmart. So they was inside trying to get tights, and we were outside parking lot pimping, just waiting. And then Bino is like, he outside trying to get a shopping cart, like waiting. And so one of my friends was like, isn't that baby daddy? Because he had on like the same exact outfit that he wore earlier that day. And he was at Walmart. So I was like, oh, that's baby daddy. So me and one of my cousins was like, oh, let's go inside Walmart and see if we can track him down. Now, mind
you, looking for the kid, you know what I mean?
Mind you, he had on a blue polo.
Yeah.
And everybody at Walmart wears blue polos. So
man, they wear navy blue polos.
He was very hard to find.
Nah, they wear navy blue polos.
Every time we hit a corner,
I got a royal blue.
There you go.
A royal blue shirt.
There you go. Oh, no, that's not him. No, that's him. So we gave up. So we were leaving. So as soon as we were like, we was going down this aisle like this to turn this way. As soon as we were about to turn, he comes through like this, and I was like, and I didn't know what to say, and I was just speechless. I was like cat got my tongue in a moment. So my cousin spoke, and she was like, damn, baby daddy, I know you see us walking. And then he turned around, he was like, oh, my bad. And he was like, ain't you guys the girls in the photo studio or something like that? And then we were like, yeah. And he was like, dang, because we looked totally different at night. Like, we had on like dresses. We were about to go to like this party. And he was like, dang, where are you guys going? Like, he was trying to slide.
I remember what you had on though too. You was wearing like a nice little black dress.
Oh, I was gonna ask you what color I had on.
Yeah, it was a nice little black dress. I can't forget that. I was like, damn. You know what I mean?
So we were at the end of the aisle, and he does this thing where he tries to give out his business card. So he was like, oh, so after we were talking a little bit or whatever, he was like, here's my business card. He gave me the number again. So he was like, here's my business card in case you or somebody you know needs a bondsman. And I was like, oh, and I finally used my line, you guys. I finally used the line. And I was like, oh, so what else do you want me to do with this number? And he was like, oh, whatever, it don't matter. And I was like, okay. So as soon as I got to the car, I called him and I was like, hey, this is my number, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, okay. So, he started talking to me and stuff. And mind you, the party goes on to like 5, 6 in the morning. And the whole time at the party, I'm on the phone talking to Bino. And I lost friends that night because I was just burning everybody's battery. My phone died. Then I was like, can I borrow your phone? And I'm like, can I borrow your phone? And then it was like, we just had like an instant click, like from that one conversation.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
See? And then while we were talking, he was like, oh, oh, no. At the time, we both had our own situations going on. So we weren't trying to like get in a relationship or anything like that, because I had a boyfriend, he had a girlfriend. So we were just like talking just to talk on the phone, and it was just like, hey, how you doing, blah, blah, like that.
Just something friendly.
It was
just
like
getting to know her or whatever. Just know what type of person she is.
Yeah, I didn't think nothing was gonna come out of us. So.
I ain't had any any intentions on.
Yeah, I was in a fresh relationship with somebody, so I wasn't really paying Bino no mind. So when he gave me his number, he was like, oh, and sometimes you may call me and I might not answer because, I might be with my situation.
No, that's not what I said, man.
That is what he said.
That's not what I said.
And then
man.
I never called him.
Nah, I did not say that.
And then he called me like the next week.
I did not say that.
What did you say?
I said, you know, sometimes you probably might hit me up, and I may be caught up or whatever. So
that meant he was probably gonna be with his situation.
Like
so that just I'm gonna be caught up.
No.
It just means I might just be with my situation, so I can't answer the phone.
No, it's not that. Listen.
So I didn't even answer. I didn't even call him anymore. Like I was like, okay, whatever.
Sometimes I may be busy. I may be busy with a client.
He's like,
you know. What you mean?
You busy with a client?
I be having stuff to do. I be on the run. I be ripping and running. So you know, I be busy sometimes.
Okay.
Most of the time. So
that's the story you want to say. Anyways, I never called him. Like never. I was like, okay.
You
so
did call me.
after the party, he's lying. After the party, that was our last conversation. We just spoke that night. And then after he told me that, I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I asked him, and he was real honest with me. I was like, oh, are you in a relationship? He was like, yeah. And he asked me about me, and I was like, yeah, I'm in a relationship or whatever. So we just knew it wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And then
we're just friends.
What happened? Oh, he calls me and he's like, well, dang, I didn't hear from you in so long. And I was like, oh, you told me something about if I call you, you may be caught up or something like that. And he was like, well, damn, you didn't even try calling me. And I was like, oh,
nah, man.
I didn't know I was supposed to.
Ain't that, man. I'm just messing with it, man. I just called him.
No, he was calling me more than I was supposed to call him.
Nah, man, it wasn't that, man. It was just that, you know, when you meet somebody and, you know, you feel like you click with that person to a point where, you know, you can be yourself.
He was digging your girl.
That's what you call it?
He was digging your girl.
Yeah, well, like what I'm saying, like when you meet somebody and, you know what I mean, like you met that person when you feel like you can talk to about anything. You know, that's like your homie, you know, you can be honest with that person. You can be yourself.
Bino,
you know, that's hard to come across somebody when you can be yourself. So
Bino was feeling me
because I put everything
hard
on the table. Listen, I put everything on the table.
Yeah, he was honest.
So I was straight up, straightforward. So I wasn't hiding that. So you already know what it was already. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was honest in the beginning. So that's what kind of made us really click because we both were honest about our situations. And we both went into it like, we're not trying to make this a relationship or anything like that. We're not trying to do nothing. I just liked his vibe. He liked my vibe. So he was like, hey, you know, I want you to be my friend. And I was like, what? Like, what's a friend? And he was like, he's never been with a girl that was his friend. Like, friend first. Like, he always had girlfriends, all this stuff. But he just wants to, like, try something new where he just builds a friendship first. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, like I could hit you up. Hey, what you doing? Wait, man. Hey, what's up? Let's slide. I'm gonna come grab you. You know, we're gonna ride out. We're gonna go to the mall or something. Or we're gonna grab a quick bite to eat. Probably go watch a game or something. You know what I mean? So
a lot of people thought because of the way we were so close, people thought we were like doing stuff, and it was not even about that. We were just really kicking it. Like, he was so fun to be around. It was like enjoyable that I forgot I even had a situation. And one time we went out, he was like, oh, let's catch a movie. I was like, okay, cool. So we went to the gas station, and you know how like somebody pulls up to the pump and they go inside to go pay? So I'm just sitting in the car like this, and he opens the door and he's like, he comes out with a rose and was like, oh, I thought of you when I was in there. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was so romantic.
you know your boy smooth, man. You know, smooth beat.
Even that it was a rose from the gas station, it was just the thought like, oh my God, he thought of me while he was in the gas station and bought me a rose. That is so sweet. I've never had anybody do this to me before. So he just kept like doing sweet stuff, like straight finesse, yo. Yeah. And then
first date, you know, you gotta come out like that on the first date.
Let's say like the third week of us just being friends and just hanging out and stuff, he tricked me. He was like, oh, you know, I want to make copies of me and my son's pictures and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, oh, he was like, what time are you going to be at work? Are you going to be at around 1? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be here till like 7. And he was like, okay, I'm coming. So I'm just sitting behind this machine at my job because I was a photographer. And this lady walks in and I'm like, ugh, another customer. So I totally ignored the lady. And then she comes in and is like, hi. And I'm just like, hi. So then my boss goes to like tend to her and stuff, and she's like, oh, I have a package for Ninz. And I'm like, what package do I have coming to this job? I didn't order anything, and I would never send nothing to my job. So what package is this lady talking about? And I was like, and it was like, oh, Ninz, come. And then she's like, hi, this is for you. And she picks up this big old basket of like edible arrangements with chocolate covered strawberries. And I was like, oh, this is for me? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, who is it from? I'm thinking this is from my boyfriend. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so sweet. And then I was like, who's it from? She says, read the card. And the card says, thinking of you. And I was like, oh, my boyfriend is so sweet. And then, so then I was like, wait, let me call my cousin, because nobody's gonna believe me if I just leave this out here. I mean, like, if I tell somebody brought this to me, and my cousin was in the back, because at the time all my little posse used to be at my job. So then I called my cousin, and she was like, oh, who got us this? Because back then, you date me, you date my friends. So, and he hated that. So I called everybody that I was talking to, because I used to be like a little player. So I called my boyfriend. He was like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, oh, did you send me something? And he was like, no. Then I called somebody else, and I was like, okay, so who sent me this? Because first of all, this dude that I'm talking to didn't send me this. So who thought about me like this? He was like the last person I would ever think to send me that. Mm-hmm. And then he calls me and was like, oh, he was like, how was your day? And I was like, it was fine. And I was like, so we were just talking, and he's just waiting for me to bring it up. And I'm like, I'm not bringing it up to him. It's none of his business. Yeah. And then he's like, he said, did something special happen today? And I was like, oh, somebody sent me this edible arrangement, but I don't know who it's from and stuff like that. And he was like, did you like it? And I was like, yeah, it was really sweet. And he was like, you better like it. It's expensive. You're welcome. And I was like, what? Wait, what? You got this for me? And then, and then he was like, yeah. And I was like, in my head, I was like, why? But then I was like, oh my God. And then I called my boyfriend and broke up with him, because I was like, you're not doing nothing for me. Like, you're not trying to like finesse me or nothing like that. You just here. And we was early in our relationship anyways, and I just left them. And then I was just single, and Bino was just my like kick it friend, like, oh, let's go here. Okay, let's go here, let's go here. And then him and his situation ended, but we still didn't really make it official. We were still like, I was growing to know the Lord and stuff. So I was working on my relationship with God and working on myself individually. So I really wasn't pushing a relationship, and he was still like on the get to know me stage and stuff like that. So we was just kicking it. We kicked it for like 3 whole years before we even made it official.
Cause I had to, cause mind you, I already had a little son or whatever. So, you know, I feel like the next person that I decided to bring in his life, I want to make sure this is the one. Mm-hmm. Cause I don't want to just keep bringing random different women, you know what I mean, around my son or whatever. So I just had to be sure. So that's the reason why it took so long. Because she's the only girl that it took so long to actually, you know, make it official. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I need to know. The next girl I end up being with, she gonna have to be my best friend. You know what I mean? Where I don't have to lie to you. You know what I mean? I can be straight up forward, honest with you. You know what I mean? I can be myself. You know what I mean? I can hang out with you and have a good time. Like if I was just hanging out with my homies. Mm-hmm. You know? And I felt that way, you know what I mean, when I was with you. Basically, I could talk to you about anything. Aww. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's real. I can talk to her about anything, you know, whatever I'm going through, my days. And it's like, whenever I speak to her, like, you know, it's like I forget about, like, whatever I was going through. You know what I mean? So I just felt like, man, something in me just felt like, yo, man, like, yo, I gotta hold on to this, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't never felt nothing this real before. So, man, I'd lock you down.
Yeah. So, my advice to everyone, this was my first relationship where I did the friendship thing first. although we had ups and downs, drama, all that stuff, it was like worth it in the end. It was really worth it, because if we didn't go through everything in the beginning, we wouldn't have had such a perfect ending. So, you know, I think everyone should just start off as friends and stop rushing into dating people just to have a title and all that stuff. Really just get to know the person, take advantage of that time, work on yourself, allow the person to work on themselves. Like, don't rush anything.
And you gotta compromise
until you're really
man.
Sure.
You gotta compromise. You gotta do a lot of compromising.
It's a lot of pruning that needs to be done with you internally.
And you
like
can't have pride, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst thing you can have, man. When you know when you really like somebody, pride. You gotta kick all that pride aside, man.
Yeah. And then the rest was history. We made it official finally, like in 2011, in January 11, 2011. That's like 5/1. So that's why we still celebrate that as our anniversary. But it was a journey.
Yeah.
Like everything that you see now, it was not always like this.
No, we went through it. We honestly
went
through it, because we knew what we wanted. We was each other. So we just tuned everybody out. We just focused on ourselves. So
yeah, we grew like an unbreakable bond. So now it's like, this my soulmate. Like I really know him. He's been honest since day one. I had like passwords, lock codes from the beginning, access to the phone, because he had nothing to hide and I had nothing to hide. So it was like a very transparent relationship where we went in like, this is who I am. This is who I am. Love me or leave me, basically. And we just grew to love each other, and I love him.
I love you too, baby. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I feel like, man, shit, even though, like when I was talking to you, I know you had, you know, I'm pretty sure you had other guys I was checking you out too also at the same time. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm going on a date. You think I should go on a date with this guy? I'm talking to him about stuff like this.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you know, even though he knew he was feeling me, he was still like there for like moral support.
Go ahead.
He was like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, I don't know, this guy liked me or whatever. And he asked me to go out and stuff like that. So that's really how our relationship was like.
Because at the end of the day, I feel like I don't have to step on nobody's toes. I don't have to, you know, down talk nobody, because I feel like, man, if you gonna ride with me, you gonna ride with me for who I am. I'm not finna down talk nobody just to, you know, just to get ahead, you know what I mean? Like, nah, that's not my style.
And people were rushing us like, oh, why just don't make it official? Why just don't? And we like, I'm like, oh, I need to get this out of my system. Like, I need to date a couple of more people and be myself a little more and work on myself and see if he's the person I really want, because he had a lot coming, like a lot of baggage. And I was like, I don't know, but he was so patient with me and I was patient with him, and we just decided like, yo, like, you the one I want. Like I test the waters. I didn't like these people, like, you know, my heart is geared to you, and he felt the same about me, and we just decided like, okay, let's make it official. But let me tell you how much Bino really was feeling the kid, yo.
Oh,
he got me a promise ring and we were just talking.
What?
He got me a promise ring.
You gonna go there?
And I couldn't even see it because he tried to be like real romantic and told me to cover my eyes. And then
you gonna go there?
It didn't fit, and then he was like,
you don't want to go there.
You don't want this. You don't want this.
Hey, you don't want to go there, man.
What?
You don't want to go there.
So I got actually 3 rings, you guys. I got 3 rings.
Let's not talk about that.
I got one during our talking stage, official stage.
You wanna know how we met, man?
Married stage.
This had nothing to do with how we met.
He was feeling the kid.
I was feeling the kid.
Still feeling the kid. But all in all, thank you guys for watching.
You feeling me though?
Thank you guys for watching.
Yo, you feeling me though?
I was feeling you. You was feeling me too.
Come on, man.
What?
You feeling me first, dog. I wasn't even sweating, man, because I already knew, man. I already knew you was mine.
When I was dating other people?
I knew you was mine since the day I saw you when I was taking pictures over there.
You didn't know that.
Yeah, I know you were mine. Man, shit, you mine, man. This whole time, when I was out there, man, like taking pictures with Ahzee, I'm like, damn, I was staring at my wife, like my future wife. This whole damn time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I don't know, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what other videos you want. I have another video that was requested as well that I have to do I'm getting these videos out for you guys. Be patient with me. My schedule's kind of crazy. But thank you guys for watching. Love, peace, and God bless.
Yo.
Deuces.